you're sitting close to me tonight. That's cute.
Because I'm trying to not look morbidly obese.
Okay, and this is making me uncomfortable. You've never been this close to me in my life.
You literally said last time you felt like you were about to get assaulted by me, and now you're
Oh,
also
well, because you're about
again.
to pounce on me. When you were like, hi guys, welcome back to Hot and Bothered. I'm Chris Bruno.
I'm Cedar Champ, and on this podcast we talk about everything that we find hot as fuck.
And everything that bothers the living fucking shit out of us.
I want to start off by just a fair warning for everybody listening that I have been full-fledged in crackhead mode for like the past week. I have been acting like a literal crazy person. I don't know what's gotten into me. Last night I slept for 3 hours, woke up at 4 a.m., could not go back to sleep, cleaned my entire apartment by 9 a.m. and
Well, that's 5 hours, babe.
Okay, well, I didn't get out of bed right away. Obviously, I sat and scrolled TikTok for a little while in hopes I'd go back to sleep, and I never did. But anyway, I'm like...
There's something about being up that early, though, that's kind of like...
It felt nice. And then I opened the curtains, and it was like...
dark out.
It was still dark out, and I was like, oh, but then like once I got into my groove and it's like dark outside, I was actually like disappointed when the sun came up.
It's kind of a vibe. I woke up really early this morning too, and like I just feel like so much more fucking productive when I wake up before the sun. I'm like, bitch, I beat y'all to it.
Literally.
I'm like, you
fucking snooze,
laying
you
in
lose.
Bed. Like,
you lazy fucking
it's not
cunts.
a competition, but it's just kind of like fun sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know what else I did today?
I'm scared.
So productive. I went and got my like blood drawn for like my labs for my annual physical that I've been putting off for like a month. And in addition to that, practicing safe sexual health, got my STD screening done as well.
Slay.
All in a day's work.
I love that. I got my STD screening last week.
Slay.
No,
oh, yeah, you did.
Ago. Yeah.
You got your results back or no?
Yeah, obviously they're all negative, sweetie. Unfortunately, I'm not riding the clam train with you.
I mean,
the clap train.
I would really enjoy it if somebody would, but like I guess I'm just in this.
Can guys get chlamydia? I've never
Can guys
on wood.
get chlamydia?
I've never had an STD. I don't know how that works. Like how it works.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how I'm dodging bullets left and right, but
seriously,
I don't know how I've never had one.
That's crazy.
I know.
I've always
That's a good
been
never
really.
Have I ever.
It is. I've always been, especially as we're getting older and everyone's had them.
Yeah.
I've been really unlucky when it comes to STDs. Like the guy I lost my virginity to gave me one. Then like the third or fourth guy I ever hooked up with in my life.
Ew, these stinky little.
Gross, dirty,
little Arizona peepees.
No, actually, both of them were Minnesota, but same difference. Doesn't
even
fucking
better.
matter.
Okay. What else are we talking about today?
I think I want to go first this week.
Go off.
Wait, did we do all of our intro stuff?
Who cares? Are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm bothered.
Slay.
I'm bothered.
That's hot.
I know. I'm like, I love a week actually when I'm hot, but like there's just so much that bothers me. This week I am bothered by men that overstay their welcome.
Okay, I'm aligned.
I love that.
Both emotionally and physically.
I had a conversation with he was a friend. He's not a friend anymore. Had a huge falling out with that one. But over the weekend, I had a conversation with this guy that I was friends with. And we were like talking about like hooking up and like one night stands and stuff. And he was like, I'm just like not in the mood to like bring a girl home, like all to get laid. And then like having to find an excuse to get rid of them in the morning or like having to take them out to breakfast just so like I can get them to go home or whatever. And
worst nightmare.
Yeah. And he was like, and all of that, like, just to get laid? Like, no, like, I'm fine. And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
I kind of love him for that.
Great point. Like, great point. But it's also a given. It's an expectation that when you bring home a girl, the chances of her overstaying her welcome are probably like
99%.
1000%. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've never had the pleasure of having a girl over sexually, so I wouldn't know.
The pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
He was like choking on his words as
he
said that. He's like,
if that's what you want to call it.
No, but that's like almost an expectation, which is why it makes it infinitely worse when a guy overstays his welcome. And like, okay, I'm not a prolific hoe. Did I use the word prolific correctly?
Don't ask me.
The world may never know. Wait, that rhymed. God, I'm literally
Prolific. Am I a prolific? Oh, the world may never know. That's really good.
Maybe I'm a rapper.
I think so.
I am not a prolific hoe. I like don't often do one night stands. As we've discussed at length, I like am not even sexually attracted to men in the slightest. Like, so for me to have a one night stand, there has to be a very rare occasion where like I have
The
not
stars have to align.
exactly. Like if I haven't met anyone that I actually like as a person for a really long time and I'm like really kind of wanting to get laid, maybe I'll have a one night stand. And ever since my breakup, so this year, the year of 2023, I have had two supposed to be, I guess, one night stands.
And they've moved in.
And in both instances, they moved themselves into my apartment. And I'm like, okay, first of all, what does a girl have to do to get laid? Second of all, what does a girl have to do to get laid and then
Go to bed peacefully.
be left alone?
Yeah, you want to go have some peanut butter cups and wash your fucking poon. Right? Is that inappropriate?
The way that you looked at me when you said poon, the look on your face, that was so good. I wish there was a camera pointing straight at your face. No, exactly. Like I live in this apartment alone because I like to be alone. Just because I don't have roommates or like
Doesn't
whatever
mean that there's
doesn't
room for
mean
one
stay
more.
over.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
Get out. Like literally get out. And then like to make matters even worse, like not only are they staying the night, okay, fine, like we can cuddle for a little bit. It'd be lovely if you left first thing in the morning
Like
or like
before I woke up,
even
like
if I
a
got
kiss on the
lucky.
forehead, you go take a leak and then you're out.
Exactly. That would be beautiful, but that hasn't happened for me. I've been very unfortunate.
Like,
The
why
first
do you want to
guy-
be crusty with eye boogers? Like, you don't have a toothbrush. You're in the clothes that you wore last night. You smell like alcohol. Go home.
I need to say something on the matter. Both times. Not only did they overstay their welcome, but like the first one was when I still had a job. He stayed until I was walking out the door to go to work. He stayed, sat on my couch, drank a cup of coffee, and I always keep extra toothbrushes in my apartment
me
because
too.
I am a gracious host.
Yeah.
So I'm not kissing your morning breath. I gave them both toothbrushes the night before, and both
And
of
then
them.
I do the same
Both-
thing because I have toothbrushes, and I feel like it's kind of like a golden ticket.
Yeah, one of my biggest icks on the face of the entire earth, and I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. I don't care how in love I am with you. One of my biggest icks is breath in general, like not even
I
just
have
morning
halitosis,
breath.
so I'm sorry.
I've never smelt your breath, and that's probably why we're still friends. Like breath really bothers me, and like especially obviously morning breath is horrendous. So I'm going to give you a toothbrush for my own mental sanity.
For sure.
But both guys, although they had been provided with toothbrushes and had brushed their teeth before going to bed, didn't brush their teeth before leaving in the morning, despite the fact that the toothbrush I gave them is sitting on the fucking bathroom
it's like a
counter.
single-use $8 Colgate toothbrush.
But brush your fucking teeth
Yeah.
before you go out in public, you dirty fucking pig. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I would rather be dead than be out in public with unbrushed fucking teeth first thing in the morning. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's horrifying. Wow, I got really passionate.
No.
about this
I'm
really
just thinking about all the
fast.
times that I've forgotten my toothbrush. Like I feel like every time I travel, I always like forget a toothbrush. It's like a common thing for me. I'm like,
Really?
I'm always like, I'm always like, okay, I need to fucking Uber Eats a toothbrush. Like
No,
I
you're
need to Postmates
getting a
a
toothbrush as soon as you possibly can.
Of course,
like,
but it's always like right when I need a toothbrush. I'm like, I didn't fucking pack my toothbrush.
yeah,
But
but like, you
But I
always
do
make
brush
sure you
my
have
teeth.
you always make sure you have a toothbrush.
obviously, I brush my fucking teeth. For the record.
For the record, Chris
And I
does
floss and I
practice
use
oral
mouthwash.
hygiene. Anyway, so I've just had like an unlucky streak with like guys overstaying their welcome, and it's like, first of all, I already feel shitty enough about the fact that I'm putting myself in a position where I'm having sex with somebody that like I wouldn't otherwise have sex with.
Mm-hmm.
But then like
The fact that they have to linger and like
almost
like
rub it in my
drill that into
face.
your fucking brain and like I
Literally.
don't know. That is like people don't understand. That's just like a social awareness thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, yeah, sure, hang out for a minute, get your shit
Like
together.
you can still be sweet and polite and chivalrous and like still leave in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be like a gross thing. Like I had a guy, I did it to him, so like it's only fair he did it back to me.
Mm-hmm.
But he left while I was sleeping and like didn't wake me up or didn't say
Mm-hmm.
goodbye or anything. And that was a little annoying, but I was just like, whatever. As long as like we don't have to talk in the morning, I guess like
Mm-hmm.
that's fine.
Like that's never happened. Like you wake up, it's like, okay, that never happened. He's not here.
We can just pretend it
Yeah.
never happened. Exactly. But like it's either like one extreme or the other.
For sure.
Can I catch a break? Like
No. The universe isn't going to give you that. I'm trying to think of like, I just lost my train of thought. I had something good to say.
but because of that, I'm also hyper paranoid about being the one to overstay my welcome.
Me too.
Like that's why like
I have no interest in going to someone's house. I will not go to someone's apartment. I will not go. We've talked about those before.
we should talk about it now.
I know, but that's your hobby when dating people is going
Oh
to their
yeah,
houses.
no, I wasn't gonna say
But like,
that though.
I will not sleep in someone's bed. Like my bed is more comfortable. Like you don't like my bed is more comfortable than anyone's
Yeah.
bed. I'm like and clean. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I'm not getting into your bed. I'm not getting into plastic sheets.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into two pillows that are hurting my neck. I'm not doing that.
That's where that's where it's like a catch 22 for me because I do not like when I lived on the East Coast, I used to have a rule
On the East Coast
when I
in
lived
Maryland.
on the East Coast. I used to have a rule for my own bedroom. I had a roommate and I'm like, I don't care what happens in any area of the apartment, but for my own bedroom, I had a rule with myself, no men in my room because I'm like, this is my space, this is my sanctuary. Like the energy here is sacred. This will not be tainted by some fucking crusty dusty man. And I like obviously don't have that rule still, but like I've kind of like carried that energy with me where I'm like, this really is my space. And like I just don't like.
Did we do a saging moment after this guy left?
I was just gonna say that. So anytime I have a guy over, I literally like deep clean my apartment, and then on occasion I'll find like a random like stray hair of theirs or something, and it makes me like viscerally upset, angry, like just so uncomfortable.
You're like bleaching your bed, like,
I
everything.
I like want to burn my entire apartment building down anytime that happens. And then so like, okay, just to announce to the world, I obviously had a guy over this weekend and
I
he
think you
stayed
already
the
said
night. I don't know if I did exactly
Oh.
say that it was this weekend, but
Okay,
I did.
okay.
So there was a guy over this weekend and he stayed the night, and like that was also part of my like manic cleaning this morning at fucking 4:00 in the morning, was because I was like, I need every trace of there ever being a man in this apartment gone. And I of course saged, and I honestly usually sage every time there's a guy over. But anyway, as I was saying, that's kind of like where it's a catch-22 for me, because I'm so paranoid about overstaying my welcome that I would rather someone come here so they can leave as they please. But then on the other hand,
You're
I'm like,
don't overstay your fucking welcome.
I don't really want anybody here
Yeah.
either, you
Yeah.
know? So then I just have to go to theirs and then be anxious about overstaying my welcome. But then again, I'm also really not like the type of girl to stay the night. Like I had a guy, actually a different guy this weekend, ask if I would stay the night with him. And I was like, no, I'm not like a stay the night girl. I don't even remember who it was. It might have been No,
50?
it was last week. He was like, I have everything in my house that you need. Like I have makeup remover. He's like, I have everything for it. And I'm
Because
like,
he's
okay.
fucking bitches all day long.
He's been engaged like 500 times.
Okay, hot.
And I'm like, I love that and thank you so much for the offer, but respectfully, no.
No.
I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna be alone in my apartment and I'm gonna sleep alone in my bed. Thank you.
I love that.
And that's all from me. I really needed to get that off my chest. I was
I mean,
like,
no, it's very valid. Like I completely agree. Like I would just rather not hook up with someone than have to risk being uncomfortable in their apartment. Because I would immediately like get the ick if there was like something that grossed me out, like fuzz in the sink. You know what I
the
mean?
dirty, you know, where like it's dirty around like the handles of the sink, you know, and there's like
Fuzz.
dust and
It's like wet dust
beard
solidified. Oh my god, I
trimmings,
can't.
or especially when
What
it's
if
on
I
the
had an apartment
toilet.
like that? What if I had an apartment? No, like what if that was like my apartment? Would
Do
you?
you really think you and I would be as good of
No,
friends
no,
as
but
we
like
are if you
what if
lived
I
like
like what
that?
if my bathroom was like that? What would you be like? Can you clean your bathroom?
No, I don't think our personalities would align if you lived like that.
That's
I
true.
genuinely don't think we would be as good of friends for that exact reason. Like, we're both so
Type A.
type A, we're so anal. Like, we're both
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. Been diagnosed, I have OCD. Like,
I
I,
probably have that.
you probably do. It would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna identify as OCD. I don't want to have that under my belt.
Yeah, we don't need to add that to your list. But yeah, no, it's just like, no, that makes me feel ew. Ew. Ew.
Okay, moving on.
So, anyway, I just like will not be having men.
Over for a while.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Me either.
That's not true.
It's true.
Because it will just be a single man,
No.
singular.
No.
Okay, anyway, so that's on me and like I actually have like a severe commitment phobia, I do believe.
Same.
And I have attachment issues, so that
Same.
probably plays a lot into that.
Having commitment issues and attachment issues is like the best thing in the
It's
world.
the most chaotic experience.
Yeah.
It's so chaotic.
And I'm
But
like like immediately codependent with anything that comes near me.
the second I like develop even the slightest bit of feelings for you, I'm so
Not
fucked
even
up
I
in
feel
the
like I'm like
head.
codependent and like in not even with relationships, just like with everything. Like I will literally get anxiety if I'm at work. Like this is probably no one's gonna be able to relate to this, but like I will get like anxious if I don't see my coworkers for like 2 days. But our
Yeah.
work relationship is also extremely unhealthy.
Yeah.
But like I'm like
Should we talk about unhealthy work relationships? Just kidding, not going there.
so yeah, in more ways than one.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So
Cedar's mind is
Chris,
elsewhere today. She's trying to get to a concert.
I know, I'm sorry.
She's like, anyway, twiddling her
I'm
freaking
like I'm
hair.
trying to pretend like I'm not rushing through this. I'm not, but I also am. I'm really enjoying this episode so far actually, but I'm also like I have somewhere to be. Guys, I'm going to a concert in a little bit and I haven't done an outing like this in a while.
And I
And
love
it's going to
that
be
for
really
you.
cute and fun.
It'll be really fun.
Anyway,
Take a little drug for me.
I'm going to take a little drug.
I love that.
Chris, are you hot or are you bothered?
I'm bothered this week, and this is something. Obviously, the past 10 episodes, I've talked about falling in love with a different person every single time, and kind of like segueing off of codependency. Me and every other gay man need to stop doing that whole like
Love bombing each
love
other.
bombing situation.
It is actually
Not even
insane. Like,
okay, I know, but not only that, but also like it is so detrimental when it fades away that like I don't know. It's like this is why I can't like maintain a friendship with some of these people after. Like obviously I'm what is not the villain, but like
the bad
not the
guy.
victim, but like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm, guilty doing this, but like cuz I don't know, when you're like with someone that's like cute and fun and then like you're like, oh wait, I have to like get back to real life, and like this person doesn't like align with my life, whatever. But it's just horrible. I'm so sick of it, and I'm not doing it anymore. And I like can't be emotionally attached to anyone for like 24 hours ever again. But I'm very happy. I'm bothered because of like how much I how much anxiety it gives me,
Mm-hmm.
like the come down from that.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have to like have these fake conversations, and then you have to do damage control. And like I sound like a toxic, horrible person, which I probably am. You're just looking at me
No, this is
laughing.
actually the first time I've like ever actually like been able to kind of understand and relate because of that post that was sent to me earlier that I read to you.
Yeah.
For context, everybody, earlier today, Sim has re-entered the chat in some capacity. I don't know what capacity. Like, I think we are still just friends and need to remain just friends. But I'm also like, I saw him for the first time the other day in like a while, and I'm like, I'm in love with you. Like, I'm like, you're such a horrible person, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so in love with you. He sent me a post earlier today, and it said, "Hey, do you mind if we develop an intense romantic connection that destroys me emotionally after it fizzles out in a few weeks?" And that's hilarious. But
And that's
also,
been me
that's
for the past
literally
4 months.
once a week, every week. Like, it's a new one. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then it's like this whole thing.
It's just like these people stress me out because
I
obviously, like, I
know.
like the fucking attention, and I'm gonna like play into it, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna get like as hot and heavy as it does. And then it's like you have to kind of rewind,
Yeah.
and it's just fucking not worth it. Like, I'm
No.
like, maybe now I've turned a new leaf as a 28-year-old, and that's just not in my life anymore, in my agenda. You know,
You mean
I'm just
this much
so
has changed
I'm
since our
just
last
so old
episode
and
that we
yeah,
recorded
the
less
last
than a
episode I
week
was literally like, I'm
ago?
in love with someone. Da, 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 da. But yeah, no, but you sparked that in me. You're like, it's so interesting how like gays just like fall in love with each other. And I was like, we don't. And then I was like looking back at it,
Yeah.
like, and I was like,
This was literally
this
yesterday.
was
So much has
literally yesterday.
happened.
And I was like,
Wow. It's been a really crazy week for the both of us.
I
We've really been
know.
through it.
I'm not even going to talk about anything else because one, I'm not
Me
going to
either.
jinx it. And two, I have to go to a psychological rehabilitation center. But no, it's just not healthy. And it's like, ugh, I don't know who's listening to this, but I don't know why I'm getting stuck with like these clingy little boys.
They are really
They're
clingy.
so fucking clingy, and it's
Yeah.
such a turn off. I'm just like, just be chill.
I think a big part of it, because I have experienced that as well, where I keep finding myself like with these weird, clingy men,
Mm-hmm.
hence what happened to me this weekend. But like, do you think part of it is maybe they're not that way naturally, but maybe like because we're very clearly so unavailable emotionally, mentally, physically, it's like a little, it can be triggering for people and they're kind of drawn to that, but it also like creates anxiety for them.
Probably. I feel like it's a combination of a lot of different things, and I feel like it's also just like, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's based off of pure delusion. Sometimes I think it could be that. It
Yeah.
could be like a combination, whatever. Sometimes I think it's like, sometimes I do that to guys, obviously, like I will admit that.
Yeah.
Um I don't know. I think we were talking about this earlier too. Like, I think it's like a lot of like false interpretations of who you see somebody as.
Because it's like you don't know somebody
You don't
within the first
fucking know
week of meeting
anyone.
them.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like
and maybe not even into like the first fucking 2 years. Like, you really don't
you
know somebody
literally do not
fully.
know somebody for like 3 fucking years. Like, it takes a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Um,
And actually, I always say this to people, there are literally scientific studies that suggest you don't fully know somebody until like the 2 to 4 year
mhm.
mark. And that's why so many long term
Well, isn't like the
relationships
first 2 years
end.
like the honeymoon phase, and then like it changes, it turns into like a different type of love. It's like
Yeah.
not like the same
Yeah.
whatever, which I understand, and I've been through that. But yeah, I'm just fucking over it. And yeah,
It's exhausting. And then
it's just like
also,
so
like,
emotionally heavy that I don't have like the capacity to like deal with the repercussions of emotionally abusing men.
yeah.
Like, I don't like I don't know. For
It's fun when
example,
they're less vulnerable. Like when they are like needy and clingy and attached, it's not
yeah.
fun.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an example.
Give us an example.
I met this guy. We hung out once. Then I left town for like 4 days. We were texting the whole time I was gone. And then when I came back, like he was like essentially waiting at my door for me. Like when you like, and I was rushing home to, rushing back because I wanted to hang out with him and whatever. And we hung out, and I mean, we actually had like a really good time. And then like we just kind of like he was a Libra, and he was like, oh, like you're gonna play like my game or something, not like in a sexual way. He was like, oh, like Libras play a game, like it's gonna be interesting to see like how we play it because we're both Libras, like da 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 da. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but like obviously I do now.
Yeah.
And so we like did like the mutual ghost situation, and then like I like texted him a couple days later to kind of just be like, hi bitch, like the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Not like in a weird way. I was just like, hey, like miss you, like something cute and stupid, because we were like, like it wasn't like, this one wasn't necessarily heavy, but I'll
Yeah.
get there. So whatever, checking in, he was like being short, and I was like, okay, you're a fucking moron, like I don't care, whatever, like if you think that you're
Bye.
playing a game, babe, and so
Mm-hmm.
then he texted me like like whatever, and then like a week passed, and it was my birthday, and he wished me a happy birthday, and I didn't respond to it until like 2 days later. And then his birthday was exactly 7 days after mine. I didn't wish him a happy birthday. I remember thinking on that Monday, it's his birthday, I should text him, but I was in full hangover mode from after my brunch, also full anxiety mode from that other situation that happened. And so I was just like, I can't imagine picking up the phone and texting this guy happy birthday, even though
Especially a guy that
he
you like knew
texted
for
me.
literally a week.
Yes. So then 2 days go by, and I was, or three, two, whatever. He texted me on like Wednesday or Thursday, and he was like, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. And I was
Okay.
like, didn't
No.
respond for 3 days. And then I was like, I'm sorry. I had a lot going on last week, and I was truly like so hungover. Like, it crossed my mind multiple times that it was your birthday. I just like, I don't know. I was in such a hangover psychosis,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And then I was toxic, and I was like, let me make it up to you if you'll let me.
Oh my God,
Which,
you are so
but I was
toxic.
like, I actually like, we enjoyed each other, and it was casual.
Yeah.
Like, I would hang out with him and go get a drink or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now we're gonna be colleagues. So I'm like, do I text him? And I'm like, hey, like, I'm gonna be like,
Wait, can we tell that story
what story?
about how you were how this came about, you being colleagues with this individual?
Okay, so the realtor that Cedar's fucking, I now,
Hold on. I am not fucking this person, but I have been casually dating this person and have actually been intentional in not sleeping with this person who is a successful and established realtor in Los Angeles. And you probably actually, I've mentioned him multiple times here, but I've never really gone into detail. But like, he just opened this
he
brand
basically has like a
new,
startup like agency.
yeah, and he just opened this like brand new, like stunning office. And I've always known that him and Chris could like collab in some capacity, but I hadn't been entirely sure how to connect them yet. And then finally last week, I created a little group
And
message,
she just
put the
shot it
two in
away.
contact, and I said, take it away, boys. And
And here we
now,
are.
now Chris,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I reached out to him about a few listings, whatever. And then he was like, oh, you should come by the new office. Like,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay.
So
Like, I'm
excited.
actually like shopping around different brokerages. And he was like, oh my God, could be an amazing fit. And then like 2 seconds later, I had a calendar invite. And I was like, okay. And then whatever, I went there today. And now I guess I'm going to be working there. So,
I love being a girl, and I love that I like get to do things like this for my friends.
hmm
Being a girl is a fucking shitty experience, but like sometimes there is a little bit of payoff here and there.
when you connect two horrible people together that have
Exactly.
impacted you in a very big
Exactly.
way. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gotten much out of like my connection with this individual other than like some free food and stuff. But like I'm really glad that you get to reap
I
benefits
know
as
it'll be
well.
really fun. But no, yeah, I'm excited. But no, I'm like, okay, now I have to fucking see this guy
Like be
in weekly
professional with
meetings. And
him.
I'm like, should I text him and be like, hey, like, I just signed with you guys. Like,
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good way to go
everyone
about
else I've
it.
talked to said, no, why would you tell him?
No, I think it would
But then
because
I'm going to walk in one day and he's going to be like,
it'll be
and I'm
like
going to
the
be
woman
like,
was too stunned to
hi.
speak. Like that would be so
Yeah.
uncomfortable. He deserves a fair warning.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least just to know he's going to be seeing your face. It doesn't need to be like, obviously it doesn't need to be like weird, like, oh my God, we're going to be working together. But like, hey, just so you know.
I'm going to be like, I got poached.
I feel like this is a really good episode to have a conversation about unprofessional workplace relationships, but I just don't know if I can announce what I did on the air.
Cedar fucked her coworker last weekend, or tried to, but he had coke dick, and that's the guy that was in her apartment until whatever.
Okay.
Do you feel better?
So no. You know what that reminded me of? You know that meme? It's like a Real Housewives video or something, and she's like, Bobby's house got broken into, and then
Oh yeah. Wait, fuck. What is that from? Oh yeah, Erica Girardi. She's like, his house got broken into, and then the car flipped over, and then yeah.
so good.
Oh my god,
That was you
Erica
just now.
Jane.
Should I? Okay, yeah. So I work in a restaurant. It's my God-given right to like hook up with a coworker. I hooked up with the one that I assumed was the biggest piece of shit possible, and I hooked up with him specifically because I thought that we would be able to hook up and be bros, and then like maybe in
So you didn't read the room,
6
right?
months from now hook up again and then like just not ever have to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's begging for my phone number. He asked me out on a date. Like
He's coming up to you at work and saying, I get hard at work when you're near me. It's like, yeah,
I made
we're gonna have
literally
to
the
file a restraining order.
biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah. How many times have you had a shift since?
One. And
how
the
was it?
entire time he was asking me for my phone number and then
You're
asked
like,
me out on a
go
date.
wait a fucking table.
Literally, table 101 needs waters. Like, go take care of it.
Get away from me.
Leave me alone. I feel bad because he is really sweet. And when he was here, like, although he was annoying and overstayed his welcome, he was really sweet. And like, we cuddled and he was like kissing me
Is he
everywhere and
hot?
everything. And like,
Slay.
which is kind of also why I did it.
Yeah.
You know? He gives like fuckboy energy, like douchey short Italian fuckboy energy. And so I was just like, perfect.
Yeah.
Literally no strings attached.
Like one and done.
And that wasn't the case. So anyway, I'm in a bit of a problem now because of that, but I'm gonna go about my life as if it never happened, and if
It
that's
never
a problem
happened.
for anyone else, like that, I don't even know what you're talking about.
It literally never happened.
I mean, and it actually
It
didn't.
actually didn't happen.
It actually
It
didn't.
actually didn't happen.
Like, no, it actually didn't happen. Anyway, wow, what a time it's been. What else do we have for the listener?
I don't know. I'm just actually thinking about all the men that I've destroyed non-existent relationships with. And then, and I forgot to mention when I was getting coffee at fucking Blue Bottle. Did I tell you this? This was like last Saturday, like between us not texting each other. I was like Saturday morning after the gym, like went and got a coffee, like never go to this coffee shop, but I was like dying for a coffee on my way home. Whatever, on Robertson. Get a coffee. I'm like walking to my car and he's like walking down the sidewalk and I think that he was looking at me and then like I looked up and didn't really recognize him and then like I did a double take, but like one of those double takes that it was like a natural double take, not like a I'm trying to like look but not look. It was like I was actually like looking, and then he was like looking away and I was like, hey, you fucking saw me first, god damn it. Like I fucking hate when that happens. And then he like walked like up the stairs to like the restaurant next to it, the Henry, and like walked through the restaurant to get to the coffee shop, and I was like, you fucking little short motherfucker. Like, why wouldn't you have? Then I was like, then maybe that's why I like subconsciously didn't wish him a happy birthday, because I was like, because that was before. I was like, if you were normal, you would have just been like, hey bitch, like what's going on? Like, good morning. Like, I'm walking to go get a coffee. Like, I would have been like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and have a fucking cup of coffee with you. Like, you know, people are fucking weird. I run into all these freaks all the time. It's horrible.
It's so weird how LA is so big and it's so fucking small at the same time.
It's so fucking small. I mean,
like, it's like listening to you talk about like these failed flings or whatever we want to call them, like actually makes me physically uncomfortable because I think about like the guys that I've entertained momentary flings with that get like too attached, too clingy, and then like they smother you to the point of like you actually want to crawl out of your skin when you think about them because you're like, get the actual fuck away from me. That's how it was with fucking like I just was like, literally never speak to me
You just said his
again.
name.
I'm gonna bleep it out.
Hmm.
Never. And also I don't care. Literally fuck him. He's so disgusting. But
He's
anyway,
a loser. He's such a loser. Horrible energy.
that's a story for another day too,
So
I think.
immature. Yeah, that's like we need to discuss that.
Should that be a topic someday?
Just say you have 2 seconds. Just like I'll say it.
Okay, I'll say it quick. Okay, so I had like hung out with this guy that I met like at a Soho house a while ago, and then we went on like 2 dates, and then he like
Pause.
got a little.
You met him with your cousin. Your cousin, like it was like your cousin kind of had a crush on him. He had a crush on you.
I don't know if my cousin was interested in him at all, but he had a crush on me. So, but that part actually doesn't matter. I'm not even gonna get into that. But
Okay.
I met him at the Soho house, and then we went out on like 2 dates, and then he was like, he got clingy and annoying, and I was like, I actually can't do this. Like I ended things immediately. And because it was like we went out the night before, and then he was like, I want to see you tomorrow. I want to see you tomorrow. Can you stay the night? Can you stay the night? And I said no. And he's like, I just like really want to like be able to wake up next to you and like spend a Sunday with you. Like it'd
Isn't
be
this the
so
same
nice.
guy that said that he doesn't want people to stay over?
Yeah, but he was in love with me, so it was different. And then like I the next day woke up to a voice. I went home, obviously. I wasn't gonna stay the
no.
night. Woke up to a voice note from him saying, "Good morning, sunshine. I have an idea. Text me when you wake up." And I was like, immediately no. Actually,
That would make my vagina like shrivel up and fall out.
I
of
wanted
my...
to throw my phone out the window of my apartment. I was so uncomfortable.
I would literally get the chills if someone sent me that. I would kill myself.
I went on to immediately, as soon as I was like awake and coherent, went on to ChatGPT, asked ChatGPT to write a breakup note to this person, and copy pasted that, sent it to him. I was like, that's it. But the thing is when we were on our date, he told me, he's like, I don't really like subscribe to social media, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I don't follow very many people, and I don't allow people to like very many people to follow me. And he's like, if someone is not like in my immediate circle and I'm not like catching up with them or like touching base on like a weekly basis, like I will unfollow them and have them unfollow me. Like we don't need to be connected on social media. And I'm like, that's weird, but like whatever, do your thing.
It's like, yeah, no judgment, but it's also like, if you're saying it's not serious, but it's that serious, then it's obviously fucking serious.
No, that's the thing. It's so funny because the people that are like, I just like don't care about social media are the ones that like have those like weird fucking rules.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
It's like obviously a normal person like who doesn't care about social media, who doesn't think about it and have like an algorithm for their own shit.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
So
that annoys
then
me.
after, so annoying,
Like that
right?
really annoys me. I'm like,
So-
own your fucking shit.
After I ended things with him, he unfollowed me and then made me unfollow him, right?
Loser.
Removed me as a follower. And I'm like, okay, like I knew he was going to do that already. So I was like, obviously not like bent out of shape about it. I'm like, I really don't fucking care.
Like, I never want to see this guy again. Do me a favor.
Yeah. And then he finally circles back around and is like cool with being friends. So he invites me out a few times. We hang out a few times as friends. And the last time we hung out, which was this past Saturday, like that was when I started to feel like we were actually making progress as friends.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was able to talk to him about the guys I was seeing and like whatever. Then at one point in the night, he's like showing me pictures of a trip he took. And he's like, oh, like I guess are we at a point now where we can like follow each other on social media again? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Like whatever.
Like it makes
And then-
zero difference in my life.
It actually does not matter to me because unlike you, when I say I don't care about social media, I actually mean like I genuinely don't give a flying fuck. Like I still follow guys that I matched with on Tinder once in like fucking 2012. Like whatever. So anyway, then he's like, can we like follow each other on Instagram again now, whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's like, if I follow you, are you gonna follow me back? And I was fucked up, so I don't really exactly remember what my response was, but knowing me, I'm a smart ass, so I'm sure I said maybe or no in like a joking way, whatever. He still followed me on Instagram. And I remember because I saw the notification, I clicked on his profile and I recognized his profile picture because it's the same picture as his contact ID on like Apple. And I was like, oh, that picture looks familiar. And then I remembered where it came from, closed out of the app, was going to deal with that later, follow him back later, whatever. So then the next morning rolls around and I go to follow him back and the notification isn't there anymore. So he unfollowed me because I didn't follow him back fast enough, apparently. And I was like, that's like weird, but okay. And then I texted him and I was like, did you unfollow me on Instagram? He denies he ever followed me in the first place. He's like being so weird about it. He's like, haha, like that never happened. Like I didn't follow you last night. Like we just talked about it. And I was like, that's not true. But okay. And then he was like, do you want to follow each other? And I was like, not anymore.
Yeah, like, no, like
it actually was never really that important to me that we followed
like,
each
it's
other
not
on
like-
Instagram. Otherwise, I probably would have requested to
like,
follow you when we first started
having
hanging out
this
as
conversation
friends.
with somebody. Like, this is like infuriating to me. Imagine having this conversation with somebody who's like persistent about the fact that they do not care about social media.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
So to wrap this up, he was like, do you want to follow each other on Instagram? And I was like, not anymore. And then he was like, don't be weird, blah, 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 blah. He was like, that didn't happen last night. And I was just like, LMAO, okay. Like, I don't care. We don't need to follow each other on Instagram.
You're a liar.
I'm like, LMAO, okay. Like, I don't.
Like,
I'm not
end
gonna
of discussion.
my text messages to him are like 3 words and his are like multiple
Novels.
messages.
It's like, okay, baby,
and I'm like, this is obviously not as big of a deal for me as it is for you.
But it also goes to show that he's like being overly defensive.
He
because
cares. Well, yeah, because he's a fucking
liar.
liar. So then I blocked his Instagram because he has a private Instagram, and I'm like, I forgot to mention this part. Like a month ago, I noticed the company he works for, he runs their social media. I noticed they viewed my story.
Ew.
He was stalking my page from his company profile, and I texted him and I asked him about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, like I was showing a picture of you to my friend or something." And I was just
This
like,
guy
"Okay,
is
whatever,
mental.
I don't care." But I'm also like, why were you showing that on your company profile? And why didn't you just look at my profile from your own Instagram? Like, I don't understand, but like, I don't care either. So whatever. So that like never was a problem or a thing. I was just like, okay, whatever. And then
You're like more doing it for entertainment to see what his excuse is.
so yeah, and then so I'm like, I block him because I'm like, you have a private profile. You can look at my profile whenever you want. And like, if you're going to be weird about this, then you don't need to be looking at my profile. I'm not going to change to a private profile just because of you. So I'll just block you. Problem solved. You don't have to worry about seeing my shit on Instagram
But he
ever
can do it from
again.
his work account. Can
So
he block the work account?
I did later, not in this moment. So then the last text messages I get from him say, I don't get what you're doing. This is just after I blocked him. I don't get what you're doing right now. So instead of speaking in snarky acronyms, would you like to resolve this? Oh, you blocked me. Very cool. Entirely normal behavior. Okay, like having a panic attack about following each other on Instagram is
Meanwhile,
normal
you're
behavior.
like, click off.
I'm
Goodbye.
literally standing next to you on the treadmill and I'm like listening to fucking
know,
Kim
you're like
Petras.
laughing
He's
at
over
your
here shitting his
phone.
fucking
Yeah,
pants,
sending
like
you
screaming,
novels.
crying,
Yeah.
throwing up.
Yeah.
Anyway, the last message says, I'll say this in parting. You have a lot of potential to be a very impressive person someday, but you have a lot of work to do. Good luck. Ooh, you got me there. Like, bitch, obviously I have a lot of work to do. I'm very upfront about the fact that I'm a literal mental patient. Do I fucking care? No. Literally.
You didn't respond to him?
I never responded.
Good. I liked my response.
So then he goes, my cousin texted me today. He went and fucking
Blocked her.
blocked her. So anyway, that was my weekend. So much has happened this weekend.
Okay, I think we should wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time. But
Okay.
anyway, that was like a little fun jaunt. We can have a longer conversation maybe someday about social
I think
media.
that was
But
perfect. Yeah.
that was our weekends in a nutshell. So
I didn't even get into my weekend.
we're waiting.
We're
We're
gonna-
saving it for marriage.
We're saving it for marriage. we're saving it for marriage. I'm not talking about boys anymore.
Chris has a new fling and he's scared to talk about it because he doesn't want to jinx it. And so we're not going to address it. But just so everybody knows, that's what's going on. And he's had a new boyfriend every week for the past 17 episodes. And therefore, we're going to pretend like this one isn't happening until it's actually like a really real thing, which means when we record 5 days from now, he's going to be gushing all about this new one. So anyway, that's what's happening.
No, it means I'll be gushing about a different one.
Okay.
I don't even like that you just said that. I feel like it's like gonna jinx it.
I'll delete it. It's fine.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
We'll know when we edit next week. It's fine.
I have a concert to go to.
Okay, love you guys. Don't love bomb someone this weekend. Block some loser on Instagram.
Oh my god. Wait, please block so many losers on Instagram.
Fuck your coworker. Love you.
Wait. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. We're on Patreon now. Bonus content is there. We talk about some really fucked up shit on Patreon. So if you want to check it out, check it out. PC. Like Chris said, fuck your coworker and don't love somebody. Don't love somebody. Don't love bomb somebody.
And don't over motherfucking stay. You're welcome.
Please don't do that for the sake of all good in the world. Love you so much. Have a great, blessed week. Bye.
Love you.